Live from Go Ed Tech Go Studios at Eastside High School, we're proud to bring you guys episode 2 of the Golden League podcast.
I'm Dina, and I'm joined by Michael and Gil as we take a look at all things sports here in the Golden League.
On this episode, we dive into the fall season and give you all a mid-season update of who's standing out and what to look forward to for the rest of the season.
To help us out with that today, we're joined by the principal of Lancaster High School, Zach Mercer.
Now, Zach and I have a pretty good relationship. Zach is an implant from Washington State and went to Eastern Washington University. He got enticed by the Antelope Valley Union High School District to go to Quartz Hill, right, and coach baseball. He ended up at Eastside High School, where he spent a lot of time teaching math. He also was the baseball coach. He was the athletic director, the second athletic director in Eastside High School history. He's coached baseball, golf, girls basketball. He's been all around, right? Been all around the district. Lancaster principal now, was a Quartz Hill principal, was a vice principal at Eastside High School. You were at Little Rock,
Palmdale.
Yeah.
It's all around the valley. It's been awesome. Each school is unique, and each school is awesome and brings something to the table.
You just have not been to AV and Highland.
AV, Highland, and P Knight.
All right, those are coming.
Lots of experiences being athletic.
they might be coming. You know how this district works.
Always
you know?
a day away.
So, Zach, we're going to kind of talk about some of the leaders, right, for each sport in the fall. And some of it's really exciting, right? So we kind of know what's going on. We kind of know who the leaders are. So when we're talking about football, what's the game to watch from this point on? Like, where are we?
Sure. So right now you're looking at Palmdale, Highland, Quartz Hill, each fighting for it. Palmdale beat Quartz Hill in the first Golden League matchup of the week, the year. That was huge. So now you're looking at Palmdale, Highland. That matchup's looming. The Golden League is anybody's to gain, though. You look at, there's 5 teams that can compete. If you look at last year's standings, you had 3 teams at 5-2. You had
right.
Highland at 7-0. Highland's coming with a new coach, new offense, so anything can happen. So football's exciting. It's going to literally come down to that last week. Lancaster plays Palmdale. Huge game that last week. So it's anyone's game. It's anyone's league.
And that game, that Highland Palmdale game, is 10-20.
Okay.
If anybody's interested in that, that's going to be a good matchup.
At Palmdale?
I believe is it at Palmdale? I'm not.
So with a
quite
game
sure.
like that, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's true.
The fans are going to come out both sides.
True.
It's going to be a lot of energy. It's going to be, for 1 week, be the biggest game,
Yep.
and then the next week, because the last week you got Quartz Hill Highland the last week.
Right.
Too.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So
anything can happen
anything
at
can
that point,
Yep.
right? And
anything can happen.
when we're talking about football too, you brought up a good point about new coaches, right? So you have Highland with a new coach, you have Eastside with a new coach. We don't have a lot of
Knight,
these.
new coach.
Pete Knight,
Oh,
new
that's
coach.
right.
We don't have a lot of these coaches who have been here forever, right? Even when you look at any of the other schools,
Yeah,
Jermaine's
Lancaster's
been there a
got 2
while,
years.
right? You guys at
Lancaster's
Lancaster,
years.
right?
Palmdale's got 2 years,
Right.
new coach.
You got Tony.
It's a lot of new blood there, and it's exciting. It's exciting because when you coach, you put your time in, and then you do want to hand that baton off,
Right.
and then you see the new blood, and the rivalries are back. AV can beat anybody. AV can beat anybody. So you're looking at that. You have the quality of football has went up. The standings may look sometimes similar, but the quality has went up. You got Little Rock. Take Little Rock. 3 teams. They have a freshman team. It's been years. They have freshmen. And this is, I think, the 3rd year in a row.
Right.
Of a freshman team. So the league's looking good and strong in football.
One of the things I want to talk about, we had this discussion the other day at the athletic director meeting, is the city of Lancaster is now covering these as game of the week, right?
I
They did the
saw that.
Eastside
Yeah, I
Lancaster.
watched that.
And it's great production.
It is cool.
It's high-value
Yeah.
production.
Yeah, so you're going
I
to
didn't
see
see
some
that.
of these. So if you are interested in watching some of these games and maybe you can't make it out, I'm sure these games that we're talking about, these teams that we're talking about, you can see on the City of Lancaster YouTube channel. So they're doing a great job of it. I know they did our game, the Lancaster Eastside one. They're trying to find a game of the week. We had Fox come out before,
Yep.
but I think this
really
is more
cool.
local. So I think it's really cool that they're trying to get involved with the high schools and trying to bring that stuff into
But
the
it's
house.
broadcasting, and they're commenting on the game, too,
Absolutely.
right? Like play-by-play.
And like I said, the quality is high.
Yeah.
I was able to go see our game, to go back and look at it, and it's good quality.
Yeah,
and
very cool.
As an athletic director, it makes you think, though, because, for example, we had the crane in the way. So
Yeah.
little things
Yeah,
like that
I
we have
saw
to,
that. I
that we
did see
have to
that.
work through now that we're working through the partnership with the city of Lancaster.
and
The
we
football is wide open, and what's exciting is many teams making deep runs in CIF. Last year,
Right.
Palmdale, Lancaster, Quartz Hill the year prior, teams were making runs.
And Lancaster, CIF champions.
CIF champions,
Right.
yeah.
So
Palmdale made it to semis. Quartz Hill won CIF 2 years ago. So a lot of representation from the Golden League throughout CIF.
yeah, which is great. We can keep people here in the Valley.
Correct.
You don't have to go down below to be on a team that's going to win a championship. We're winning them right here.
Correct.
Let's move on. Flag football. I mean,
most
you know,
exciting sport going on.
Oh, that's
It's
brand new.
exciting.
Brand new.
And here's the great thing about flag football. Legitimately, any team can beat any team. Right now, Knight's standing out as the top team. They a big win against Highland. They've been shutting people out. You know, they just beat us, and we think we're pretty good. Quartz Hill, you know, beat us, but Knight beat Quartz Hill. And AV's got a team. AV's got a couple girls on that team that can change a game in a second. Eastside's quarterback's
Yeah.
amazing. Little Rock's got a couple linebackers that can play literally linebacker. It's wide open, and it's just so exciting watching people come out, staffs coming out watching these games, watching announcers announcing the games. It has just been awesome. I'm so happy for those girls.
Yeah, I was on the sideline the other day, and the girls are so excited, right? The crowds are excited. It is a little bit of a learning curve. It is brand new. It's not
everybody.
Yeah, it's not a championship
Everybody.
sport yet. Next year it'll be a championship sport for CIF. But even the officials are kind of trying to figure out what's going on. And I had a good conversation with the athletic director from Quartz Hill, Aaron Kavanaugh. We were in the middle of the field at halftime, and they were the officials were talking. Hey, that should have been this. This should have been. We did a good job here. So they're communicating, and it's so new. And you have these guys who are doing football and then flag football, and they have to kind of switch and change.
And little things like the no pass rule, but in flag
run
looks
zone.
different. Yeah, but even the no run zone, the toss is considered a non-run. So we're learning the rules.
Yeah.
The spinning. I mean, there's so many things. The first game was hilarious and fun at the same time. We were playing each side.
I bet.
Just the officials like, I don't know, can they do that? I'm not sure. You know? But they were getting together and getting it right. And Doug and his crew are doing a great job of making sure that we talk it out and get it right, because what we want is high quality officiating to go along with the high quality flag football.
Dina, you're involved with flag football, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, okay. How's it been for you? You're assistant coach, right?
Assistant, yeah.
Okay. How's it been?
It's like they said, a learning curve.
Okay.
A lot to learn.
Yeah.
And I think CIF is still learning too, right? Because we're getting these rules, and then we get an update on rules, and so we're trying to figure it all out. It's kind of like a beta test, right? It's like we're just going to try it, and that's why I think it's good. There is no championship. It's kind of like getting everybody together and figuring out what's best and what's
I would
going to
say
work.
this: it's upon us as schools to make sure we get people to go out and support girls flag football, because when they go out, they're going to like it. It's a different environment. It's a different environment. It's fun. The girls get after it. This isn't powder puff.
Yeah.
No, it's
This
not a
is
powder
girls
puff at
flag
all.
football, and they get after it. And it's important that we support these ladies. Monday's a tough night because we come out of a weekend, and sometimes kids don't know what's going on that day. But the times allow us to have kids stay after school and come support the teams. I think it's 4:30, 5:30 right now.
Yeah.
And so come out and support these ladies, because they are working very hard. They're playing competitive football, and it's getting better. From day one, to today,
Yeah.
the quality of football has increased.
And it's not like you're there a long time. It's only about an hour long.
Oh, it's an hour.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
literally an hour.
An hour.
There's a
Yes.
running clock,
Running
Yeah.
clock,
except for the last 2 minutes.
which take 45 minutes, but it gets done in about an
It's
hour.
quick.
It's quick, yeah. Which keeps, every possession means the game. Every
Yeah.
possession.
Every
can be the game.
possession.
Yeah.
And one of the things I
awesome.
think you need to know, we had this discussion the other day that I just found out, is first downs are 20 yards.
Yep.
They're
No
not
matter
10.
where you're
No,
at.
it's not
Oh,
10.
wow.
Right? So you're watching and you're like, that's a first down. It's not a
No.
first down. It's 20 yards. So there's a lot of things that look similar, but they're really not.
Correct. And it's the 20-yard marker, and it's not even 20 yards. You could be at the 17-yard line, and your first down's 3 yards away.
Right.
So you have to, as a coach, you have to adapt and play, because that changes all the strategy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just
been
want to say AVC has been absolutely great supporting the Golden League Athletics. They've attended our meetings. They've opened up their facilities. I appreciate what AVC is doing for the community. And
Yeah,
for
they've
the
done a
Golden League.
good job of bringing us into the fold. They have a new athletic director. You know, they're really focusing on our teams here in the Valley and how they can best help.
Kids need to understand, you don't need to take a 45-minute drive to go to another school. We have an amazing facility, a great school in AVC. Sometimes kids see it
Yeah.
as staying home. I want to go away. But you know what? You get the same opportunities here without spending the money. So
Especially
our
more
athlete-
recently, you see all that construction going on there.
Yeah.
Like they're putting money, investing in that school for sure.
Yep.
All right, let's take a look at some of the other sports. Got the time. Golf. Got Quartz Hill and Highland as the big winners.
Yeah, so historically, Quartz Hill Girls Golf is going to be at the top of the heap. But then you have Highland, Mia Romero, who's sitting right now currently 5th, putting some pressure on the Quartz Hill ladies. And it's awesome to see. It's great to see. Sometimes you've seen Quartz Hill finish 1st through 8th. But other schools are competing, and it's great. And what I've also noticed is complete teams are completing games too. In the past,
Okay.
you play some teams that would only have 3 or 4 girls. Now you have teams that are coming with their 6 girls there, and they're getting final scores and not getting disqualified, and that just creates a competitive environment for the other teams. Because although you may not be first, that competition for 2nd through 8th could be huge, and any team
Yeah.
can win it.
Absolutely.
And again, going back to the competitions, right? So at the end of the year, you have 15 of the top golfers in the Golden League who come into the Golden League qualifier.
Correct.
So they do 2 events. So if you were interested in coming out and watching golf, you can come out and see the top 15 in the league for those 2 days. So, if you're interested in those things, we have these tournaments at the end. It's great to see people out there. Even if it's at the golf course, you can come out and participate and kind of see what's going on. It's a good opportunity for you to get out and see what's happening in the community.
Correct. And right now, Sabrina Redford's leading the field. She's got 3 of her own teammates on her heels. And like I said, you have Mia right behind them. And then after that, you have other girls from Highland and Lancaster and Knight right on there to Palmdale. Palmdale always puts out a competitive team. And so it's pretty exciting there. And the thing about girls golf, and I would say the same thing with tennis, is we're talking about, and cross country, we're talking about lifelong skills.
Right.
Yes.
So even though some girls may compete in this sport and not be in the top 15, what they're going to be able to do is go out and play golf and know the rules. And we were talking before the set here that there are business deals done on the golf course.
Yeah.
And knowing how to play and know the rules just moves you through life. Same with tennis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and tennis. I mean, you get these people who are out playing tennis, right? Pickleball
is
now
Pickleball's
just
huge.
Yeah.
huge right now, and I've had
Those
people
are
say,
sports you can play your whole
Yep.
life, at any age.
right,
Staying
and
active.
people are asking, are we going to have pickleball as a CIF sport? I'm
Maybe
like,
we
I don't
should.
know. It's,
Maybe we
it's very
should.
popular. I don't know if that age group is in there. We are probably more the age group of pickleball.
We?
I will
But-
say, though,
say we?
Good.
Sorry, we're the same age, right?
I will tell you, if you're a parent or a student, you're looking to play athletics, but you may not fit in different areas. I can't tell you the high percentage of young ladies and boys in the boy sport who pick up a golf club or a tennis racket for the first time in high school. And that's, I don't want to say that's what the sport's about, but that's what high school athletics is about sometimes, is that I would say if you want to get involved, try those 2 sports. And we have competent coaches that will put those clubs or those rackets in your hands and teach you how to play. And then you have a lifelong skill.
Yeah, we have people ask us all the time, do I have to have golf clubs? Do I have to have a tennis? You don't.
No.
We have it all. We provide
Show
all
up.
of that. So show up. I mean, golf's not a cheap sport to go out and play, but you can go out every single day here at the high school and you can play and you can
and
learn.
Our
And you
local
can
courses have been amazing, letting these ladies on the course, and they work with us with practices. The city of Lancaster and Palmdale and all the way out to Crystal Air, really supporting the Golden League, and we appreciate that.
That's really cool.
That's all right. Hey, girls volleyball, who do you see as league leaders going into the second half?
So once again, historically, you got to go with Quartz Hill. However, they're sitting with no losses currently. I believe they're 11-0. But you have Highland. Their lone loss sitting at 10-1 with Quartz Hill, and I'm sure those ladies are looking forward to that rematch. And I don't know where the game was, but if it was at Quartz Hill, Highland's going to bring the energy, because Highland will bring the energy for girls volleyball.
For sure.
Kids will show up, and that's a huge game. And then after that, really, those are the top 2. At this point in the season, really, those are the 2 vying for the title of Golden League champion. But after that, you're looking at teams number 3 through 8. It's anyone's.
It's a race.
You have the 6th place team, I believe, has 3 wins, and the fifth and 4th, I think, have 4 wins. So anything can
Real
shift.
Could
close.
change.
Yeah, and that's playoff implications.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those top 4.
So top 4. So you're looking at, it's really anyone's game, and then and everyone has wins, which I know doesn't sound big, but in years past, some schools are going winless in league. That's not happening this year.
Right.
So every team's got a league win, and it's exciting to see.
That is cool.
Yeah.
How about girls tennis? Right, girls tennis
Dina.
is. We
Girls
talked a little
tennis,
bit.
yeah.
Something about that.
Girls tennis
Just a
coach
little
for
bit.
Eastside over here.
Hey, we played Lancaster just a little bit ago, and Cleo Wang, she's incredible. I don't think she's lost a match this season.
I don't think she's lost a set this season, to be honest with you.
But probably not. I would say no. She's
And
good.
she's at Lancaster, right?
She's at Lancaster.
yeah.
Fared very well against Saugus just yesterday. I believe she's lost no sets. Lancaster's hanging in there with Quartz Hill. With the big game, as of this taping today, is the matchup, the second match between Quartz Hill and
Today.
Lancaster, which
Okay.
could decide the league champion. But individually, there's once again, it's another sport where you can perform both as a team and then also individuals and doubles.
Yep.
And I think
That's
that's
really
cool
neat.
because you have golf, you have tennis, you have cross country, where you can be on an individual CIF. You can go to, as an individual to CIF, but you can also go as a team. So it gives you an opportunity. You don't have to be on that best team. You just have to be in that mix.
And that's important to say, and I'm glad you said that, because their thoughts, if I go to this school, their tennis teams, it's you're a team, and sometimes you don't have the best team, and that's okay.
Yeah.
In a sport like cross country, tennis, in golf, you can go out there and beat your own score. and that
Right.
should always be the goal
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, when you're stacked up against the league and you're in the top group, then you're competing against
Yeah.
that best. And it's two different ways to compete. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
good.
And I mean, maybe that's the cross country coach in me.
Well, speaking of cross country,
Yeah.
segue that
Yeah.
way.
So, I mean,
Once again, another possible someone who might know a little
Yes,
bit about
exactly.
cross
yeah, we got a good panel this time. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
we,
Yeah.
okay, not with age, but we. But cross country, you know, it's funny you say that because you get kids out who are here like really, really fast. So you have Isaiah McCorvey, right, from Lancaster, who was just killing
junior,
it,
doing
right?
well, yeah.
killing it. Went to Woodbridge, 14:59. You run 14s in cross country in the 3 mile course. I mean, you're
And he
pretty
was-
good.
And he was frustrated by his time.
Right. And you're pretty good. So he's on that. I mean, he's way out in front. When you watch these, you know, typically you're seeing, you know, 1 through 5 being Quartz Hill. You got Isaiah who's breaking them up. You have
And then you
Jenna
got Highland, yeah. You got Highland's young lady.
Jenna Johnson, right? Jenna Johnson is at Palmdale, goes over to Highland, and now she's number 1 in the league. You know, I mean, she was really good. I mean, I'm not saying that she wasn't good over there, but she moves over. She's at Highland, and so these are kids that can go individually
Correct.
to
And
CIF.
then team-wise,
And you can go team-wise in the top
right
4.
now, I believe Quartz Hill's at the top, right, team-wise?
Yep, and they are. And so, you know, you get the team to go in, you get the individual to go in. So, again, what you're saying is a lot of these teams or a lot of these sports like cross country, I have a spreadsheet that shows your best time at that meet each time, and then you look and say, hey, I did better. I mean, that's the goal,
Yeah,
right?
that's cool.
That's the goal for golf. I mean, I've been golfing forever, and I'm not that good. But, I mean,
But
you know,
can. If we went out today to play golf, you would look competent, like you know
Yeah.
what you're doing. That's what it's about.
and you'd be able to say,
You have
hey,
the
last time I
experience.
played here,
Yeah.
I shot this score, right? Last time I ran here, I ran this time. So it's really competing against yourself. It
Yeah,
is a team
exactly.
sport, but it is an opportunity. And we get a lot of kids who are like, I just want to be in shape. I want to get ready for soccer. It's you against the clock for the most part. You do have a team component, but there is an
and
individual
how many
component.
kids have you cut from cross country?
None.
No, exactly.
I've been coaching it for
Exactly.
20.
So if you're a
something.
parent and you're saying, how can I get that school name on the chest of my athlete, which is, by the way, the goal as a principal, my goal is for a kid to wear a shirt. I don't care if it says Lancaster chess, Lancaster cross country, football, just the school name on their shirt. Cross country is a great sport. You join, it's a personal best sport. Little to no pressure if you're new in the sport because you're running against yourself. Just a great lifelong conditioning, and it's just good. And so that's a sport.
And you have 7 varsity kids, but you could have 100 kids on the team, which a lot of our schools have had in the past, right? You don't cut any, you just, as long as you have
right.
transportation, you can go, right? So,
But it
and
does
that's the
kinda-
thing.
And it leads into track too. So if you really
It does.
enjoy it and you
Yep.
really make progress, you can keep it going. You don't have to wait a whole other year to compete.
You can be a
keep it going in
two-sport
track.
varsity athlete in school through track and cross country.
Yeah.
Get the jacket, wear the letter,
Yeah.
have pride in your school, contribute
Yeah.
to your school because that is contribution.
Absolutely.
It is.
And it's a
So
great
put in your
sport.
transcript when you go to apply for college too.
And, and that was my other point is we get a lot of kids who are like, hey, I want to go to a university and I want to put something on that I did. We get a lot of those cross country kids who are like, I want to compete in something. I'm not great at, you know, golf or basketball or football, whatever it might be, but I can run.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get on the team and I'm going to put that on my transcript. So it's a good opportunity for you to have to kind of make your transcript.
And you're looking at
your
golf,
resume look
tennis,
good.
and cross country. You're looking at exponential growth as an individual. You will exponentially grow.
Correct.
You could have never played either of those sports on day 1, and then on day 100, you're going to be exponentially better.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So let's kind of get to the last 2 questions. What surprised you most about the fall season so far?
Well, right off the top, I'd say girls flag football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't surprised. You know, Gil, I've been a proponent of girls flag football for years. Felt like it's a sport that would be popular, but what surprised me is and from day one, how the ladies took it. This was a varsity sport. This was not powder puff. It was never powder puff to them, and they get after it, and then they enjoy it. So what surprised me, I think, is, and I guess I'm being a hypocrite because I'm not surprised, truthfully. But what did surprise me was the vigor that these young ladies are taking flag football, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great to see.
Well, it's kind of cool. You mentioned earlier, like the kids are into it, the coaches are into it, the schools are into it, the refs are into it, the community's into it. Like I can really see this thing growing into something big.
And the pride.
Yeah.
This is no exaggeration. Going to be, I know it's specific to Lancaster, but every single game we've had, football game, our ladies have showed up in their jerseys supporting our football team.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
awesome.
wait. And then we've had our boys come out and support the ladies, and it's
Yeah.
awesome. Coach giving them a few hours to step up and support our
yeah,
team.
that's great.
You know who else really enjoys girls flag football? Murr.
Murr loves girls flag football.
So Lancaster, you want to tell them?
Yeah.
I don't know who Murr is.
So I was in a school board.
Practical
Maybe I shouldn't say
jokers.
where I was at. Yeah. So I have a connection to an individual who knows Mur's sister, Mur from Impractical Jokers, and then in a whim of a text, I was like, man, we got the first girls flag football coming. I would love to do something special to announce that game, meaning announce the date and time of that game. And she's like, I'll ask Mur. This is no exaggeration. This is Thursday about 7 p.m. Thursday about 8:30 p.m. She goes, you have the video on Monday. And it's now received over 80,000 views.
I saw it. It was
Oh,
good.
that's really
Yeah.
cool.
8,000 shares. It's the #1 post in the school district's history.
Maybe we can play that video at some.
What's up, Lancaster High School? It's Mur from the TV show Impractical Jokers. Yes, I've got a black eye. That's not important. Here's what is important. I'm so excited. On September 11th, the Eagles are hosting the first ever Golden League girls flag football game. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. And also, of course, I'm performing live at the Hershey Theater on September 9th, 2 days before the game. Go to murlive.com to get tickets and get out there and support the Eagles. Go get them!
By the way, if you want to see comedy, the comments on it is just great because if you know the show Impractical Jokers, they have to do punishments. And so the comments.
I know where this is going.
And he also has a black eye at the time. Was in an accident the next day on Friday. And she said, hey, he's going to have a black eye, but he'll make it funny. And I said, great. So people thought it was a cameo. It was not. It was just an off chance with someone that I know that knows his sister. And it was cool.
That's awesome, man.
It was pretty cool. Hey, what advice would you give to Golden League teams, the coaches and athletes?
Oh, man, we could have a whole show on this, honestly. First, let's start with coaches. For coaches, it's the first thing we have to understand is we all want to win. We all want to win. All of us. I'm the most competitive person you'll meet. But we also have to understand that we have these young individuals following us and following our lead, modeling our example. And it's cliche, but it's true. The lifelong skill set and what you get from sports carries with you forever. Right. You look at some of the best teachers you hire sometimes are coaches. The best classified staff sometimes are coaches. It's just the presence they carry. We have to remember that. We have to remember that and put that as high as winning. But I would also say you have to recruit. Get kids out there. There are examples time after time of schools who don't do well in some sports who pick it up because they get a coach who's consistent, brings kids out and gets people. Little Rock's a great example. Look at their football team now with 3 levels. That's a school that at one point was struggling to even put a varsity team together.
Well, and look at their cross country team with Josh Briggs. I mean, he's been consistent, and they've had a great program. I mean,
absolutely
wonderful, and they didn't have that before.
And football coach at Court Sill, Russ Gordon, says it best: is that the grass isn't always greener. Sometimes we look and say, oh, if I could coach this team, or if I could go down here, down below. But we have we have so many athletes here. We get accused of saying athletics is down in the Antelope Valley. It's not. It's just spread out. We have 8 schools.
That's a good way to look at it.
It's spread out. Imagine if you took Palmdale and Highland and combined that as one school, they would dominate CIF in Division I.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so the fact is that we have to, as coaches, have to understand that each school community needs good.
Yeah,
they all need good, and so it always you take. I keep going back to Little Rock, but it stands out. You take Coach Joe for Little Rock, being consistent there, being consistent there, putting his heart and soul that he takes losses, right? But that's a man who's put that community above winning and losing, and you know what? They'll win. They'll win. They're going to shock somebody.
They will.
I was fully impressed with them on last Friday night, and they played hard. They had a lot of heart, and you see that as coaches, we got to remember that,
Right?
Yeah.
And then athletes, when it comes to athletes, if I could have every athlete in front of me, it would be, listen, once again, we all want to win. But you have to be a part of the winning. It's easy to say that a team is trash when you're not on the team.
Right.
Yeah.
Every school has that.
True.
Oh, that team's, you know what? Quite honestly, I heard it today.
Yeah, I did too.
This team is this. What position do you play? Get out there.
Yeah.
Get out there, make them better.
Make a difference.
Lancaster, a great example. 15 years of 3 or less wins. 15 years of 3 or less wins. They win CIF last year.
Right.
And I give that. I give the credit to 2 things. One, the coaching staff getting out there and having a staff and getting kids out there.
Yeah.
The team was huge number wise.
Yeah.
And then you give credit to you got to keep them on the field. So Dave Fishik, the AD out there, just keeping the kids on the field. So as coaches, that goes back to we need to keep the kids on the field.
Yeah.
Athletics is the number 1 intervention we have on the campus by far. Right. It's the number 1 academic intervention we have is athletics. Half the school plays athletics. All those extra eyes we put on the kids. So it's more than wins. We all want to win.
Yeah.
Right? But it does go beyond that. And then treat our officials right.
Right.
Yeah.
Treat our officials right.
And as we wrap up, one last thing you said, how things have changed, right? You got all these schools doing it. The other thing is CIF has done a good job with competitive equity.
Absolutely.
Right. So, when you go into CIF, you're not just competing against schools your same size. You're competing against schools that are at your competition level. And that gives us an opportunity to go far into the playoffs.
Palmdale proved it last year on a coin flip. Palmdale gets whatever placement they got, but because they were 5-2, just like us, just like Quartz Hill, and then they made a run. They were one game away from CIF finals. They made it to semifinals, and the competitive equity, CIF is smart about that. Now, with that comes some criticism. For example, we were CIF champs, but we were Division 12. You know what? First of all, the rings look alike.
Yeah, exactly.
They do.
And
They do.
ultimately, if you can play football in December, who cares what division it is?
Yeah.
Right? It's about being one of the top 13 teams that get to win their last game.
Right.
There's only 13 teams get to win their last game. There's a lot of teams in California.
Right.
So I'm glad you brought that up because CIF has acknowledged that, listen, we get it. We know Mater Dei. We know Bosco. We get it.
Yeah, Servite.
Yeah, but there are teams that we can put them competitively, let them play, and ultimately let kids play athletics as long as possible. Right.
Oh, hey, so thank you guys very much. It was a cool conversation about fall sports. It's really exciting to see kind of the direction it's going and what we have to look forward to. So thank you, Zach, for hanging out today. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And we'll see you guys next time on the Golden League podcast.
That was a golf clap. You see that?
Is that it?
Talking about golf.
What's a tennis clap?
Oh, with your rackets.
Oh.
Is it really?
Yeah, that
By the
when
way,
they when
have
they
you ever
win a
seen
game.
the beginning of a tennis match when they do the whatever that is? That's pretty exciting.
Oh,